And one person asked me this recently. He says, yes, I have all these issues, but what can you do? Yours is a small party. What can you do? Yes, I agree. We can't change Singapore right away. But then, give us a chance. Put us in parliament, and we will show you what we can do. Put us in parliament, and we will show you how we can make the ruling party sit up and listen to you. Do that, and you will see.
Yang agak membimbangkan adalah trend scholarship yang diberikan kepada para pelajar pendatang, tetapi anak-anak watan negara ini harus membayar biaya dan dengan subsidi yang kurang membantu mereka. Adakah adil bagi kami anak jati kelahiran Singapura untuk menampung semua ini dan membantu membiayai scholarship para pendatang?
根据新闻报道，政府为人口设立的最终目标，还可能是650万。想想看，650万啊，难道目前的550万人口还不够拥挤吗？但是，我们不能责怪这些外籍劳工，也不能怨恨他们的存在。话再怎么说，他们也只是想来这里混口饭吃而已。该负起这个完全责任的，是那个没有经过人民的允许，鲁莽地执行这种移民措施的政府。
Now I accepted because I wanted to give some support to the many people in the SDP. You can see they have put up a great show, and also the speeches of the young Democrats and the not so young Democrats have been quite impressive. Do you agree?
If they rush it over the next few years, they make Singapore population to be 6.5 million. You think Singaporeans can reproduce 2 million people in such a short time with a falling birth rate? So chances are, if they make Singapore's population, they bring it to 6.5 million, chances are 3/4 of them will be foreigners. And when that time comes, Singaporeans will be the minority in their own country. If they have this kind of foresight, why do they need an older man, an old man to do forecasting for them? A fortune teller who sits in your neighborhood shopping area, he charges you how much if he tells you a fortune? Maybe a few dollars. You know how much you are paying this fortune teller? 3.5 million a year just to tell your fortune, and then also wrong. Also wrong. He couldn't see the crisis coming. He put in more money into the bank collapsed. What kind of forecast is that? You better ask back your money.
You know, when you walk around our island, when I walk around our island, something is not right. I used to proudly talk about how we have $35,000 GDP. But when I look around Singapore today, the 35,000 per capita means per person. But that $35,000 is not shared by every person in Singapore. I see old people, sometimes so old that they can barely stand up straight, and they are crushing tin cans because they can sell them $1.20 for a few kilos, or they are collecting cardboard. Those are our mothers, our fathers, our aunts and uncles. We say that a minimum wage of around $6.80 an hour, which would equate to about a $300 salary a week, is equitable, and it would not cause a great rupture in the economy, as the Metcalfe report has shown. But think about what it would achieve. Think about what it would achieve. There would not be a significant impact on the economy. It would only affect those in the lowest wage brackets. It would boost productivity because workers would not be scouting around to find a second and a third job. They would be able to concentrate on their work, on their leisure, rather than worrying about their cash flow. Do you know that the pension for our senior people, our cabinet ministers, Speaker of Parliament, the justices of the Supreme Court, they get thousands of dollars monthly in their pension after they retire. So if we have welfare for these people, why not welfare for the poorest of our Singaporeans? The SDP proposes that in the first 6 months after someone has lost his job, he or she should receive 75% of his last drawn wage. We propose that it comes down to 50% in the next 6 months and 25% in the final 6 months, capped at a certain amount of money per person and only for 16 months. And also we say that in line with that, that person, that recipient, cannot reject more than 3 job offers that come his or her way. Now, if you estimate that about 50,000 people will benefit from this scheme, and if you estimate an average wage of about $2,400 a month, $2,400 a month, the cost to the Treasury would be $1 billion a year. 1 billion. 1 billion compared to our 160 billion GDP. Think about it. GST is probably one of the most regressive and unfair taxes we can have, because the poor and the rich need the same things to live. Rice, sugar, you know, all the foodstuffs, all your toiletries. But when you equate that across the board for all purchases, the people who earn less are in effect paying more in that GST tax. We say it should be lowered from 7% to 3%. And we say it should not be put on basic foodstuffs and on medicines. Okay? And we know we will succeed one day in making our country more open. We will succeed in making our country more equal. We will succeed in making our country more democratic. And when we do, every Singaporean will benefit at every level of their existence.
Do you know also that our Prime Minister takes home a salary of $3.7 million a year? That is the total of the leaders of the USA, Germany, Italy, Russia, UK, Hong Kong, Japan, and France put together. Now that means for every Lee Hsien Loong, you can get an Obama, an Angela Merkel, a Nicolas Sarkozy, Silvio Berlusconi, a Dmitry Medvedev, a Neo To Kan, David Cameron, and a Donald Trump. All this for one Lee Hsien Loong.
I was arrested at 5 a.m. on the 21st of May 1987, having had only 3 hours of sleep before the ISD came to my house. I was interrogated in an extremely cold room, deprived of sleep for days, verbally abused, assaulted with slaps on my face and beatings on my chest and back, and a knockout punch to my abdomen. Before the assault, I firmly stood my ground, refusing to be intimidated. After the assault, I succumbed and allowed them to make me into a docile puppet, writing and signing long tracts of self-incriminating lies and half-facts.